So I'm actually forcing myself to go on a 10-day silent meditation retreat. In this video, I'll share why I'm going on this retreat now, what I know about the retreat at this point, and how I'm feeling about it. So I think first, why I am actually going on this meditation retreat, right? I think first is really in terms of just, habits and mindset that I do feel like it's not healthy, which I want to kind of break free from and kind of have a little bit of a reset. I think that hustler, is still in me, despite the fact that actually I moved out of Singapore into Chiang Mai, which is like a calm, beautiful place. And to a certain extent, I have slowed down quite a lot, right? But I think there is still that I think they say old habits die hard. I think that's true. I think mindset also is not something that you can just change like overnight or within a year, right? So I think some of those like go 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 mentality and some of that kind of rise and grind kind of culture is still in me, and I feel like there's still that need to be productive. I'm still kind of like constantly checking my phone and checking the news and all of that. So that's something that I do want to break free from. I think some of you have also shared with me that, you kind of like working quite a lot, like, 10 to 12 hours a day. The moment you wake up, you kind of think about, what is going to happen in the office. Even Sunday night, right? You have to think of like, what's going to happen on Monday in the office. So I think there's something that I don't know, maybe we are kind of used to, but honestly, I don't think that's the healthiest. So anyway, I'm trying to kind of break free from that. Even though I'm actually not in corporate and not in the red race anymore, I think some of that is still ingrained in me, and I do want to kind of get out of it. Yeah. So that's one thing. And I think just in terms of like my experience with meditation, it has been good. Many years back, I used to go on a 200-hour yoga teacher training course. So I'm actually a certified yoga teacher. Not that I want to teach yoga lah, but I went a course and I got, in touch with, of course, like, the asana, the body movement, the posture and everything, but also the mindful side of it, with the meditation, the mind body connection. I got introduced to yoga nidra as well, which is like a meditation technique that helps, lower stress and anxiety and reset your nervous system, that sort of thing. So that was actually very helpful when I couldn't sleep. So yoga nidra is something that, really helped me when I really couldn't sleep, when my mind was so active after all the night calls and meetings at night. Then my mind would be super active and then I couldn't sleep. Then I tune into yoga nidra, and it helps relax the body and the mind. And then that's how I fall asleep. So yoga nidra was like good for me. And also actually even during the yoga teacher training, just the first part where we kind of warm up, bring ourselves into the space before starting the vinyasa practice, right? Just observing, the breath in, the breath out, the rib cage expanding, the tummy coming out, and then tummy moving in and rib cage kind of contracting and falling. That actually helped ground me in a sense, because sometimes I would be my mind is all over and it's scattered, and that helps like kind of focus my mind and helps me calm my mind as well. So I had some of this positive experience with meditation, and I want to see how I can kind of level up lah in that sense. Yeah. And then after the yoga teacher training, which was years back, I've also tried meditating in some sense. I downloaded some of the apps like Headspace and Calm, but I don't know, I think life was just kind of hectic. So even though I downloaded the apps, I did actually like, get the time or take the time to meditate. Sometimes I would sit down like maybe 15 minutes and try to do one session of meditation, but I think I couldn't focus. Back then, my mind was was distracted mostly by work. So anyway, now that I'm settled in the new home, everything is done up more or less. I'm trying to pursue kind of like this my own version of eat, pray, love. First year in Chiang Mai, I've been eating a lot already, so eating part is done. Now I'm going on the pray part of the journey. What I'm hoping to get out of this is because I think I have actually slowed down, right, over the past year. But obviously, the world is quite noisy, and I actually haven't been spending time being silent and kind of experiencing silence. In fact, I don't know about you, but I think sometimes I'm quite uncomfortable with silence, especially in a setting where, there are people around and all that, right? So I think it will be an interesting experience. I'm actually quite curious about like how this experience will be, what's the impact of this experience on my mind, on my body, on my soul. Whether I will have like some insights after this experience, I'm not sure. So anyway, a little bit about the meditation I'm going for. It is actually in a wat, of course. Thailand, there is many wat or temples, right? And so every few steps you see a temple, and it's like the perfect place to do like a meditation retreat like this. So what I do know about the meditation which I'm going for is called meditation. So it is insights meditation, right? And actually I wouldn't be able to speak. I wouldn't be able to listen to anything. I wouldn't be able to use my phone. The phone will be locked up, and there wouldn't be any reading or writing. So I think it'll be quite an experience. I don't know. I don't think I have ever spent like one day without my phone actually for quite a long time now. So it'll be quite interesting. A little bit scared about what that means, but yeah, we will see. And then also in terms of like the schedule, it will be quite different from my usual kind of routine. So first thing, I will wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah. So 4 a.m. the gong will ring and then I'll wake up. So or that at least that's what I'm supposed to. And then the first thing after waking up is meditate. Okay, the whole basically majority of the day will be spent meditating. Okay. So other than eating and sleeping, you basically meditating. Yeah. So 4 a.m. wake up, meditate, and then 6 a.m. that's where we will have breakfast. Breakfast is, of course, is a silent meditation retreat, so there's not going to be any conversation at all. So we'll eat the breakfast in silence. We will wash the plates and all that, and then go back to the room. We can clean up, we can shower, and meditate again, right? And then 10:30 a.m. is where I will have lunch. And and by the way, that's the last meal of the day. I hope I don't get very hungry, but yeah, 10 is lunch and that's the last meal of the day. I think after that we are allowed to have some liquid like milk and all that, but no solid food after lunch at 10:30. Yeah. And then PM is when we can actually do a reporting to the abbot. I think we're supposed to share with him like our observation, and I don't know, maybe he will give some yoga advice. I'm not too sure. But yeah, 2 p.m. is the reporting. And then of course continue meditating. And then 10 p.m. is when it's basically lights out, time to sleep. So that's kind of the schedule. I'm feeling a bit nervous about this schedule. That's very different from my normal schedule. I mean, I do wake up and sleep early, but 4 a.m., waking up at 4 a.m. is really out of the world. So we'll see. I'm not very sure whether I can actually make it through the 10 days. I hope I can, but yeah, but I don't know because if there is nothing to do, you cannot read, you cannot write, cannot use your phone, there's no distraction. That means that potentially I'll have to face myself and my own demons. Uh I don't know what will come up actually, so a little bit scary in that sense lah. Yeah. So anyway, whatever it is, even though I am kind of nervous, kind of scared, kind of unsure, I think it will be good. At least I hope it will be good. Anyway, if you guys have any tips for me, right, do leave them in the comment section below. That's all my sharing. Thanks for watching. Peace and love. Bye.